I'm 29 and own two businesses that have generated over $36.1 million in my 20s. If I could talk to my younger self, here's what I would say. And the first is experience living in different cities. Most likely, you're not married yet, you don't have kids, and so now is the time to just pick up your bags and you can go live a new life wherever you want in a different city. I've lived in LA, New York, Miami, and every single time I've been able to reinvent myself and become the person I actually want to become. But it's not until you can leave your hometown behind and go experience this new city that you can break free out of your shell, right? Whatever conformities you had growing up, moving to a new city is one of the best ways to allow your expression and freedom to come to life. And so it's more than just living in a new city. It's about becoming the person you always deserve to become. The second thing is you want to fail fast and fail often. I cannot tell you how many times I failed in business to get to this point today. And it was a disgusting amount of times, to the point where it probably made sense that I probably should have given up, and I still didn't, and I still kept going. When you're 21 or 25, you're like, oh, they're just doing whatever they wanted to do, it's fine. And so because of that, you have an advantage, right? You can be a bit foolish and still be okay. You're not gonna ruin your life by failing often. And so because of that, you should take advantage of it while you're still young. The next point is finding your tribe. And what I mean by this is it sounds so cliche, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so you wanna find the tribe of people who motivate you, who inspire you, who want you to become better, because that group will probably actually end up being the make or break in terms of whether or not you reach your success and goals. And you will be surprised how much of an impact this group has on you in terms of whether or not you're gonna be able to be successful or not. I remember watching a Mr. Beast video where he said when he first came up on YouTube, he had a group of a few friends where all they would do was talk about YouTube every single day. That's what they did. And it's not a surprise that he's the biggest YouTuber. I think he still does that to this day. He's constantly talking to other top YouTubers on what's working and what's not. So for you, find your tribe in terms of what you want to do, what you're passionate about, so that you can pursue it. Takes me to my next point, which is pursuing your passion project. Now is the time to do it. If there's one thing I absolutely do not regret, it's pursuing my passion early. Because now I'm at the point where those fruits of my labor have paid off, and going into my 30s, I'm gonna feel a lot better with the weight off my shoulders because I took the risk now. So now that passion project can be that thing that I can pursue for the rest of my life. So whatever it is, whether it's creative, it's music, it's art, you name it, a new career, just go do it. Now is the time. Move to that new city and go do it. Number 5 is do not take your health for granted. The first few years of business, all I did was grind on business, and I actually got into the worst shape of my life in basically all of high school and post-college. And so it was because I took my health for granted. I said, I'm just gonna work 80, 90, 100 hours a week and eat whatever I want, and I just stopped working out. It actually got to the point where I did not feel physically well. I didn't feel mentally sharp. I didn't look confident in the mirror, and I got back in shape after I realized that. This was when I was 25, 26. And so whatever you do, you want to build the good habits for your health now. Don't wait until later and be like, oh, let me just grind on work and then focus on my health habits later. It doesn't work like that. The habits that you build now for your health will stick with you and compound for the rest of your life. Number 6 is your network is everything. I cannot tell you the amount of people I've seen where one night they blow up and it was because of somebody they met outside that they just struck a conversation with, or it was a mutual friend, or instead of going to bed early on that Friday night, they went to that friend's party that they hosted, or it could even be a dinner. And one connection can change your life. And so what that means is you should spend time building relationships and networking, because they just focus on that passion or project, but they don't put themselves out there. So spend time building key relationships. Number 7 is live below your means. I cannot tell you the amount of times this has saved my ass in business, especially when my business was starting to go under. I was losing money every single month. It was because I saved up a lot of money in the bank that allowed me to bounce back in business. And I easily could be sitting here today a few years ago with nothing to show for it. And it was because of good financial spending habits that I built early on. So whatever it is that you do, even when you go through the good times, just know the good times won't last, because the bad times will always come. And it's the people who live below their means strategically that are able to weather the storm. Number 8 is invest to learning new skills. You are your biggest project in this world. The highest leverage thing that you can do is upgrading yourself. That's faster than putting money into the S&P 500, whatever you may think it is. You are your greatest passion project. Sooner you understand that, the sooner you're gonna realize that it's worth it to spend the money to invest in learning skills, or even the time. Because if you have more skills, you're gonna be able to do more things that get you closer to your success. It's not a coincidence that the most successful people have a lot of skills that other people don't. And it's just because they spent the time to invest into learning and building those skills early on. For example, I had 0 business skills 6 years ago. 0. And by working on business every single day for 6 years, I would argue I'm probably in the top 1%, if not even lower, for business, especially when it comes to my age. And so the only reason why that happened was because I constantly invested into the skill to get better and better every single day. And it has given me so much advantage in life because I'm just better at this one skill than most people. Number 9 is do not waste time. I see too many people taking things slow. They think they have so much time because they're in their 20s. And let me tell you, my 20s blinked. But there's one thing I don't regret, and it's I did not waste time. I spent a lot of time working. I spent a lot of time building relationships. I still managed to have fun. I'm in shape. And it's because I was very picky with my time. I don't just go say yes to anything. If someone's inviting me just to chill, like I don't want to just go chill. Like let's go do something. Let's go do a workout, right? Like let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's go. If I have to eat lunch or dinner, sure, I'll eat lunch or dinner with somebody else. But I'm not just going to go over somewhere and just chill and do nothing and watch TV, because time is your most valuable resource. And when you understand that, you will realize that you don't have as much time as you think. Number 10 is you want to ignore the opinions of others. I cannot tell you the amount of times that people have told me that I was starting a bad business idea, or that I should pursue a different career and go back to school. And you just have to focus on what you feel in your gut that you want to do most. That's exactly what I did. It's what a lot of successful people did, and it ended up working early on. It's not supposed to be logical. Your gut knows what you want to do. It knows what you want to do for your career, and the more opinions you listen to of others, it's going to steer you in the wrong direction. Just focus on what you want and go pursue it. Number 11 is understand that you can do things now that you cannot do later. What I did in my 20s early on was I made a list of things that I could do now that I could not do later. And then I fixated on that list and I said, what is the most important thing on this list that I want to do and accomplish in my 20s? And after I did that, I was like, okay, this is my highest priority because I can always go back to school. My parents wanted me to go get my MBA. And I was like, I could always go back and get my MBA later. I could always get that job later. But I can't just always start a company. It's going to be tougher to start a company in 10, 15 years versus now. I might have a different risk tolerance, and it's true. And so I was like, I'm just going to commit to these things now. And lo and behold, it was the absolute best decision I did. I was able to live in different cities. I was able to pursue my dream career. And it was because I realized that there are things I could do now that I can't do later in life. Number 12, you want to work really, really, really hard in your 20s. I cannot stress this enough. It's something I do not regret doing. I put in 70, 80, 90 hours a week for many years. And sure, at some years, it may be at the expense of a social life or whatever. But let me tell you, the fruits of the labor and foundation I was able to build from a work ethic perspective, from a career perspective, has completely changed my life. And I credit it to working extremely hard. And the funny thing is, I had no work ethic in college. But when you find that passion project that you'll be surprised how much you're willing to work around the clock because you love it so much. Now is the time where you have the youthful energy to just go, go, go. So don't take it for granted. Build good discipline, build good work habits, and just work extremely hard and outwork basically everybody else that you know. Number 13 is embrace a growth mindset. And what I mean by that is you are in a phase of your life where you are growing. You're going to be a different person every year. I feel like a different person every single year. I look back and I'm like, those are some dumb things I did just a year ago. And I say that every year in my 20s. But it was because I developed a growth mindset where every single day I thought about getting just 1% better, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in business, whether it's in my relationships and improving them. You want to be growing every single day. So build a lifestyle where you are able to do that. And so if you do that every single day, you will be surprised in 5-10 years down the line how much growth you've had as a person, which will directly relate to the success and happiness of your life. Number 14 is practice gratitude. This is something I've been doing every single day. I don't like sit down and write on a journal or anything, but like subconsciously I think about it. And how I know I do this is because every single day, the first thing that I am most excited about for my day is having a nice cup of coffee. I am grateful when I get to wake up and have a cup of coffee. Like, it gives me dopamine. It gives me euphoria. I smile when I think about it. And something as simple as that, people are like, what? But for me, I'm just so grateful because I get to be alive. I get to wake up and go to the gym. I get to wake up and pursue the career that I've always wanted. And it's because of this that I don't take any of it for granted. And I think too often we don't appreciate the little things. Unfortunately, rewires our brain in a negative way. And so wherever it is that you are, be fortunate that you can wake up and have a coffee. Be fortunate that you can wake up and work out. You have a roof over your head, because people in the world don't get that opportunity. They don't get to just even go to the gym. They don't just get a roof over their heads. They are basically predetermined in life if you go to these third world countries. And the moment you realize that, and you're even born in the US, you are one of the luckiest people in the world. And I don't take any of that for granted. Number 15 is sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. I cannot emphasize the importance of sleep. I love sleep. I sleep 8 hours a day consistently. I'm like a professional sleeper. I used to only sleep 6 hours a night because I was like, oh, that's 2 more hours of grind and all this. And that was probably one of the dumbest things I did, because by sleeping 6 hours, yeah, I had 2 more hours in a day, but I was tired all day. It was actually pointless. I'm more productive now because I sleep 8 hours a night, because I have more energy and focus and mental clarity throughout the day. So don't skimp out on sleep. Whatever you're doing, sleep enough. Number 16 is set clear boundaries with others. And this was something I did early on, and I still do to this day, because if you don't set clear boundaries, then you don't have any boundaries. And if you don't have any boundaries, people will step over you and take you for granted. I kid you not. They will take your time. They will take your energy. They will suck everything from you, and you will have nothing left to show for it, because you don't have anything left to give to what you want. So for me, for example, my phone's always on Do Not Disturb. You can't just call me and suck out 3 hours of my day whenever you want, because I'm focused on my business. Like, if we want to talk about something, someone will then just text me and we'll figure out a time to just get on the phone and chat. But you can't just interrupt me in the middle of my day and distract me for 2 hours. And if you are just so readily available like that, where people can just take things from you constantly and you have no boundaries, people will continue doing that. And so learn to develop healthy boundaries with your friends, with your parents. It will then allow you to be that much more present when you do spend time with them. Which brings me to my next point, point number 17, improve your communication skills. I think communication is one of the most important skills you can develop in your life. It will allow you to have hard conversations and understand how to navigate them in a non-threatening or non-harmful way. It will allow you to negotiate to get the things that you want that you were not able to do because you didn't know how to negotiate. All of that's communication. It's sales. It's understanding psychology. It will allow you to be a better presenter and speaker for whether it's in your career or job, or maybe even to your peers. You will have more of a leadership presence because your communication is better. And so take the time to develop key communication skills, because you use it in all aspects of your life. Number 18 is be kind to everyone. You don't know what someone's going through. You don't know who's going to pop off one day and become that person that you may need something from, need help from, that you were an asshole to for no reason, right? And so a good philosophy for life, it doesn't even matter who you are. I treat everybody with the same level of respect. I really go out of my way to just help others when I can. And because of that, it has come back tenfold in terms of good karma. So whatever it is that you do, be kind to everyone. You're not above anybody else. It could even be the waiter. It could be the janitor at your work. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just be kind to everyone. It is not more work to be kind to everyone. And you will never know how it can come back in life and be repaid as great karma. Number 19 is resilience will dictate your success more than IQ. The smartest kids in high school or in college are not the most successful kids. Now that I've been 10 years post high school, I have seen it firsthand. The people you think are going to be the most successful are not the ones who were the best in the classroom. They are the ones that did not give up. There's a world or dimension out there where I gave up on business because I failed 3 times and it took me 5 years of my life to fail. But I can tell you this, if you have resilience and you can get up every single day, even when you fall down, and you can keep getting up, that is what's going to make you successful, not any of this other stuff. So learn to build strong resilience and understand that setbacks, especially in the early days, are so common and they will continue happening, and your level of resilience will dictate your success. And the final thing is you only get one reputation. Protect it at all costs. Because again, this ties back to being nice to everyone, doing the right things. The moment you mess up your reputation, it will take you forever to rebuild it. And sometimes you can't even rebuild it. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation. That's the irony of it all. When you understand that, you will protect your reputation as close to your heart as possible, but just know one slip up can ruin your reputation that you've built for a decade. So whatever you do, protect your reputation with everything. These are the 20 things that I wish someone told me when I was younger. So hopefully this is helpful for you in wherever stage that you are in your life.